Have a very pivotal matchup in the AFC West as the Las Vegas Raiders are traveling to LA to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. This is your Week 1 2024 prediction and preview video. Hit subscribe if you're new. Also hit the like button. Both of these teams are coming in with brand new coaching staffs. Granted, Antonio Pierce was the interim head coach last season with the Las Vegas Raiders, but this is his first time being the full head coach to open up a season. And he went 5-4 last season on the back half of the season. When you look at the Los Angeles Chargers, you bring in Coach Harbaugh, baby. Brand new offensive coordinator as well. Let's start off with the home team. No more Brandon Staley. The football gods have finally blessed the Los Angeles Chargers. Coach Harbaugh was once a coach in the NFL for the San Francisco 49ers. He had a lot of great seasons with the San Francisco 49ers, and he's coming off a national championship win with the Michigan Wolverines. Can he bring over all of that momentum to the Los Angeles Chargers? You no longer have Keenan Allen. You just traded him to the Chicago Bears. You no longer have Mike Williams. You cut him from the team. He's now with the New York Jets. The point of emphasis for the Los Angeles Chargers in this game is to take care of Justin Herbert. We've seen it early on in his career. He's been dealing with a lot of injuries. He's dealt with broken ribs in the past. He dealt with a finger issue last season, and his season was cut short, and they could not run plays from under center. They had to run plays from shotgun because he's dealing with that thumb injury. Now you're in a situation to where he's fully healthy. He did have a foot injury in the beginning of training camp, but since then he's fully recovered, and he's been fully active at practice. You want to run the football as much as possible against the Las Vegas Raiders, and that's going to be tough to do. And I'm going to mention that when I talk about the Las Vegas Raiders' point of view. But when you look at the Chargers, your wide receivers are a huge question mark. Your top wide receivers are Joshua Palmer, not a bad wide receiver, but he's not a true number one wide out. You have Ladd McConkey, who you drafted from Georgia. Can he be the number one target for Justin Herbert and crew? You also have Quentin Johnson as well. He's looking to bounce back after that terrible rookie season that he had with catching the football. You want to go out there with Gus Edwards. The Los Angeles Chargers have never had a consistent run game with Justin Herbert. Austin Ekeler was a very good running back in terms of catching the football at the backfield and on toss plays. They're going to try to go out there and be aggressive with Gus Edwards. So run the football and work off of play action. I'm not worried about Justin Herbert going out there and having a great game. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm worried about the wide receivers. Can they beat press man coverage, and can they catch the football when they get open? Quentin Johnson, he can get open. The problem with him was that he could not catch the football consistently enough last season. And we saw that against the Green Bay Packers. They lost that game because he could not come down with the football. So point of emphasis, get the run game going with the offensive line, and the wide receivers have to catch the football and get open against a single coverage. Because I can guarantee you this, if they have a lot of consistency with the run game early on, the Chargers may try to go out there and stack the box and put those wide receivers on the island, and you may be able to beat them over the top, especially with a guy like Ladd McConkey. But the wide receivers have to step up in this game, and the offensive line from tackle to tackle, they have to be on their A game. Be on the lookout for the brand new rookie tackle at the right tackle position, Joe Alt. The Los Angeles Chargers went with him in the first round instead of selecting a guy like Malik Neighbors or another wide receiver. They went with the offensive line help because Coach Harbaugh in the past has said he views offensive linemen as weapons. So that tells you everything that you want to know about him in this brand new offensive approach. Also be on the lookout for Rashawn Slater as well. He's a very good tackle. And be on the lookout for Will Dissly. When it's third down, they may want to target him and get him the football in those short yardage situations. As far as the defense for the Los Angeles Chargers, Brandon Staley had this team under terrible coaching for years. Yes, they made the NFL playoffs a couple of years ago, and they blew that lead against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But the defense has not been in a good way. Last season, they had one of the worst defenses in the NFL. You now are bringing in a brand new defensive coordinator as well. They're bringing in a brand new offensive coordinator in Greg Roman, and their brand new defensive coordinator is Jesse Minter. He's the former defensive coordinator for Michigan. This is his first time ever calling defensive plays in the NFL. We'll see how this works out. But you have talent in Khalil Mack, who is still one of the best pass rushers in the AFC as he's getting older. He's not missing a beat. You have Joey Bosa as well. He will play this game with a club on his hand. He broke his hand in joint practice against the Los Angeles Rams, and he went out there and he had surgery. He should be able to play in the game, but he may not be 100%. We all know that Joey Bosa is a very good pass rusher, but he's dealt with injuries over the last couple of years, even at the start of his career. If he can just go out there and seal the edge and stop the run game of the Las Vegas Raiders, make Gardner Minshew go out there and beat you. The front seven that the Chargers have isn't a bad front seven, but they can be beat up the middle if you go out there and run the football enough. It's going to come down to Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Morgan Fox, and all those guys up front to go out there and stop the run and seal the edge. I'm also looking at Denzel Perryman as well as a guy that can go out there. Can he cover in space? Because the Las Vegas Raiders, they have two very good tight ends. You have a rookie in Brock Bowers, and you also have Michael Mayer as well. I'm worried about the linebackers. Can they cover those guys in space? And they have big Zamir White in the backfield. Gardner Minshew is not a top elite quarterback in the NFL, but you don't want them to get a run game going because the next thing you know, they have those two tight ends and they have one of the best wide receivers in the NFL in Davante Adams and Trey Tucker. You can be beat over the top. So I'm looking at the guys in secondary as well. Pay close attention to Davante Adams, of course, but Trey Tucker, he could be a bluff piece. He could be one of those pieces to where he just takes a safety and a cornerback with him, and the next thing you know, Davante Adams is eating you up down the middle of the field. You don't want to see that happen. So you have to take care of the slot wide receiver of Trey Tucker and look out for Jacoby Meyer as well. Christian Fulton, can he step up and can he be a true cornerback for the team? We know that Asante Samuel is very good in his own right, one of the most underrated corners in the NFL, but we'll see if Derwin James can go back to form. Last season wasn't the best in coverage. The season before that, he did look solid. So we'll see what Coach Jesse can do. But the point of emphasis on the offensive end are for the wide receivers to go out there and beat press man coverage. For Justin Herbert, just take care of the football and for them to run the football as much as possible. Defensively, get after Gardner Minshew and make him beat you solely. Now let's talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. It's a brand new team, it seems like again. Aiden O'Connell was the starting quarterback for the majority of last season. They had Jimmy Garoppolo to start the season, and man, it was hell on wheels. Josh McDaniels was fired at the halfway point in the season after they suffered a tough loss against the Detroit Lions, and they let Coach AP go out there and hold things down. They went 5-4 with Aiden O'Connell being their starting quarterback. The last time these two teams faced each other was on a Thursday Night Football game, and this was the game that got Brandon Staley fired because the team gave up. No Justin Herbert. That's the biggest question mark in that game. If Justin Herbert was able to play, how would things look? But now we transition over. The Raiders have Gardner Minshew being their starting quarterback. Last season, he was one game away from leading the Indianapolis Colts into the NFL playoffs. He had 15 passing touchdowns, but that came in 15 games. He's going to have to step it up. He's never played with this many offensive weapons before. Davante Adams, get him the football early, but do not force him the football. The Chargers can go out there and they may put him in double coverage. If he's not open, don't force it. It was too many times last season to Aiden O'Connell and to Jimmy Garoppolo. They're trying to force feed Davante Adams the football. We know this about great wide receivers. They're going to get theirs regardless. Whether the Chargers go out there and they double team him or not, he's going to find a way to get open. So just take care of the football with Gardner Minshew and try to get the football to other weapons like Brock Bowers, who you selected in the first round. Get Michael Mayer going, especially in short yardage situations. Run that two tight end set to help Gardner Minshew see the field better. And you can also run the football more out of that look. One thing the Raiders did a good job of was run the football last season. Not with Josh Jacobs, but with Zamir White. Zamir White is a very good power back. He can run the football down the Chargers' throat if they allow him to. And this is not a strong secondary from last season. Granted, it's a brand new season. So working off of play action, Gardner Minshew showed last season with the Colts, he could be a very effective quarterback. I'm not expecting for him to go out there and have 4 to 5 passing touchdowns, but if he can be effective on his downs and they can keep the yardage short with him and you can be in 3rd and manageable instead of just being in 3rd and 10, I think the Raiders can be in this football game. So the point of emphasis is obviously to run the football, but to also go out there and play complementary football. Don't run the football too much. Have faith in Gardner Minshew and let him go out there and work through his progressions and work through his reads. Start with some screens to Trey Tucker to call the bluff of the Los Angeles Chargers and try to get some mixed matches going across the middle of the field. And use Davante Adams more so inside the slot and outside the slot as well. It was too many times last season to where Josh McDaniels solely just put him on the outside. He could play inside the slot as well. He is primarily an outside wide receiver, but we saw the damage he was able to do when he was with Derek Carr, and you have a brand new offensive coordinator in Luke Getsy as well. I trust that the Raiders can really go out there and take advantage of the secondary and the linebackers of the Los Angeles Chargers if done correctly. One thing I am concerned about is their right tackle position. They do have Colton Miller at the left tackle position. The problem is this: when Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack are both on their A game, they're one of the best pass rushing duos in the NFL. And I'm worried about the right tackle of the Las Vegas Raiders. But go out there, slow down the pass rush, and win through time possession. Because I can guarantee you this right here. Coach Harbaugh is going to try to be intense, and so is Coach AP. Both of these coaches have similar philosophies. When I look at the defense of the Las Vegas Raiders, this was their strong suit last season. And this defense just got better. You add in Christian Wilkins, one of the best defensive tackles in the game. And you already have Mad Max Crosby, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Get after Justin Herbert and stop the run game. You want to go out there and play press man coverage. Prove that these wide receivers can beat you over the top. The one thing with Justin Herbert, if you give him enough time, he can move outside the pocket. He could kill you with his legs. And he's not known for doing that. He's a big quarterback that has a rocket arm. But so far, the wide receivers on this Chargers team, they're unproven. When I look at the secondary of the Raiders, they were good last season. A lot of that was because they're front seven. I'm not saying go out there and blitz Justin Herbert because he's very good against the blitz. But you want to go out there, create a lot of pressure up the middle of the field with Christian, because that's why you brought him to this team. Christian Wilkins is here because of that. Not only do you have him and Max Crosby, you have Malcolm Kuntz as well, who had 8.5 sacks last season, is a very good pass rusher. The linebackers with the Raiders are also good. You have Divine Diablo, who is very good at tackling in space and can cover running backs out the backfield and tight ends. Robert Spillane isn't the best pass covering linebacker, but he's a very good tackling linebacker. He can go out there and stop the run. They're going to need those guys to go out there and keep guys like J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards in check, because if you don't, it opens up to play action. And when you're using a single coverage and play action, that's when things can get bad. That's when guys can come across the middle and they can come across your face. So I'm looking at the front seven to really go out there and have a major impact for the Raiders as well. Control the line of scrimmage and win this football game by doing that. And that's one way that I look at this game going. Whoever controls the line of scrimmage the best, that is who is going to win the football game. We all know that Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Gardner Minshew, but sometimes it doesn't come down to that. It comes down to offensive line protection and who can play better complementary football. As far as the secondary with the Raiders, you have Marcus Epps, very good safety, Trayvon Mooring, who had a career year last season. Nate Hobbs was amazing last season as well. So they can go out there and they can give the Chargers wide receivers a lot of problems. This is going to be a very close football game. Number one, this is a division matchup game. No team wants to lose a division matchup game, especially early on in the season, when it's the first game of the season. You have two coaches with a similar philosophy. Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Gardner Minshew, but Gardner Minshew is not a quarterback that you want to sleep on. I do believe that the Los Angeles Chargers will win this football game, but it's going to be close. I have the Chargers winning this football game 24-21. But let me know in the comment section below, who do you have winning this game? The Las Vegas Raiders or the Los Angeles Chargers? And this game can go either way. But let me know in the comment section below. And also let me know, who are you rooting for? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.